Hey everybody, we're back. We're talking whole brain teaching, we're talking class dojo, we're talking character education. For those of you that are watching the replay, thank you so much. Don't forget to share it out, tag your friends so that they can watch it too. For those of you that are already in live, we've got quite a few people already. That's awesome. We are going to be talking about character education, how to implement it in a classroom in a real and concrete way. So I'm really excited. Stephanie Meador is here. Hi, Stephanie. Christina's here. That's awesome. So once you're here, let me know that you're here. Leave me a comment and where you're from, what grade level you are. And thank you for the likes and the hearts. That's awesome. My name is Sarah Meador. I am the Executive Board member and Associate Director for Whole Brain Teachers of America. I teach middle school science in Northern Illinois. Hi, Jody. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, is it Danielle? I think it's Danielle. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Nancy. Nancy's here. Nancy is an amazing executive board member as well. She is the director for certification of whole brain teaching. So if you're watching and you are interested in becoming a certified whole brain teacher, go to our website. It's wholebrainteaching.com and click on the certification link underneath freebies, and you'll see lots of information about being a whole brain teaching certified educator. And what that means is you would be on the track to start presenting whole brain teaching to others. Only certified whole brain teachers that are at the level of certification to present should be presenting whole brain teaching. So be very wary of any presenters that you see presenting whole brain teaching. All the ones that are legally allowed to present or certified to present are listed on our website, so check there. So we've got Coach joining us now. He's posting it from Whole Brain Teaching. That's awesome. Hi, Rhonda. Hi, Todd. So good to see everybody here. We are talking about whole brain teaching and class dojo and character education today. So leave me a comment. Let me know what is your biggest question or issue with using character education in the classroom. Do you have a district mandate that you're using? Do you have posters around your room you're required to show? You know, how's it going? What are you using? What's happening out there? There's so many different character education programs that are out there, and I have not found one that is better than whole brain teaching. So I'm really excited to share that information with you today. If you are watching, whether the live or the replay, don't forget to subscribe so you can get notified when we go live again. So click on those three little dots in the upper corner of your screen and make sure you click subscribe. And that way you'll get notified whenever we go live again. So we did have a couple of posts already about Class Dojo and whole brain teaching. If you haven't watched them, feel free to scroll back in Whole Brain Teaching. You'll be on the Facebook page and you'll be able to see all the videos that we've done. Chantel, I think is how you say it, maybe. I'd love to do this in Quebec. You go for it. Whole Brain teachers are all over the world. We have lots of teachers in many different countries that use our strategies with success. It works, as Coach says, in any language. It works in any country. It works in any grade, any content. That's one of the magical things about Whole Brain Teaching is it's not a curriculum. It's not a content. It's a delivery instruction method. It's tips and tricks that you can weave into any content, any classroom, K-12, which is awesome. So we are talking character education, we're talking whole brain teaching today, we're talking classroom dojo. So just as a little review, if you watched the last two videos that we've done, the last two Sundays, the first one was all about how to integrate the super improver team from whole brain teaching in with class dojo. So if you're doing that right now, leave us a comment. Have you woven those two techniques together? And if you have, how's it going? So leave us a comment, let us know how it's going. If you haven't done it yet, there's a really simple way to do it, and it's all described both in the video that's here on our Facebook page, but it's also at our website. Everything that we do is on our website. It's all wholebrainteaching.com. All of our strategies are completely free for teachers. We are all teachers too, so that's one of our core philosophies, that professional development is free for teachers. So all whole brain teaching things are always free. So go to wholebrainteaching.com, click on freebies kind of up at the top, and you'll see a big drop down menu pop down, and one of them is WBT and Class Dojo. So click on that and you'll see a description of how to integrate Super Improver with whole brain teaching. And if you are not familiar with whole brain teaching, there's another link at the top that says Super Improver that tells you everything you could possibly want to know about Super Improver. says, my kids love to see their avatar advance, and the correlation to the effort animals is amazing. Well, thank you. That's exactly what we think too. We think that is a wonderful pairing of the two. So awesome. It's made my life much easier keeping track of super improver stars. Liz, that's awesome. And that's really what we found Class Dojo is magical for. So it's a really effortless way to keep track of whole brain teaching super improver stars that students get. As a reminder, we're only marking positives. Class Dojo has a lot of other pieces and things that you're able to do with it, but if you are a whole brain teacher, then we are only using it for positives, and the positives are only showing improvements. So the only stars that our students get are for improvements. That is our huge switch, our huge focus. It's how we change our goggles so that we are only recognizing improvement, not attainment. And if you just make that switch, it is the most miraculous switch. It really helps to change you as a teacher, just changing the way that you're viewing students, the way that the things that you're looking for. It helps you to see and acknowledge and witness and celebrate those small improvements that students make. And it's really a game changer for classrooms. And so that's what we do with whole brain teaching and with the Super Improver team. And Class Dojo allows us to do that in a way that is digital, that you can do whether you're in the hallway or in the lunchroom or a music class or in your classroom, wherever you are. There's also a really good parent component, so parents can see the improvements if you want them to. So it's a really good pairing of those two strategies. And again, it's all explained at wholebrainteaching.com. Don't forget to click subscribe if you haven't yet. So click subscribe and you can be notified when we do our videos again. They're usually every Sunday, but there's some really awesome videos that was just posted to our Facebook page of a 10-finger woo, which is another great strategy. So don't forget to scroll back and just watch all the other awesome videos that are out there. So we're going to jump right in and talk about character education and the 5 virtues today. And this can really easily be tied with the Super Improver team and with Class Dojo. So if you're not familiar with character education, again, go to wholebrainteaching.com, click on that link right up at the top that says character education, and you'll get tons of tips and tricks and free strategies and things that you can use in your classroom. What we do with Class Dojo is we can, in a visual way, in a digital way, we can really put a focus on our character education. So it's not just posters that you have up on your wall that collect dust. It's not just that 20-minute lesson one day a week that we're forced by administration or whomever to present, and then it's something that we forget the rest of the time. With whole brain teaching, character education is woven into everything that we do, which is truly magical. So with our last week's video, we started to talk about character education, and the simplest things to include are the manners. So we're talking about please, okay, we're talking about thank you, you're welcome. So if you, and the praise pointer, don't forget the praise pointer. So if you aren't familiar with those strategies, head back to last week's video or go to the website and you can see how those are used. And those are the specific strategies that we want to focus on Mondays, because Mondays is glorious kindness. Hi, Giselle. Giselle's here. Hi, Giselle. So Monday is our glorious kindness day. And so every Monday in Class Dojo, or if you're using the wall display for Super Improver, that's awesome too. So you find a way to display and explain that Mondays are for glorious kindness. And this is our gesture for glorious kindness. You can say, today we're focusing on glorious kindness, but it's the 2 hands out, because kindness is what we give from our hearts to yours. And when we teach our students to use manners, we are working on building that bridge from our heart to theirs. And that is the most important thing that we can do as teachers, is to build that bridge between our 2 hearts. And so to do that in a concrete way and to build kindness in a concrete way, we use manners. I say please and you say okay. I say thank you and you say you're welcome. And then we use the praise pointer too as a way to get our kids to start the thank you, and then we can say you're welcome back to them. But also to use them in between with each other as well, which is awesome. And so what's wonderful about this very simple Monday strategy is that you can go into Class Dojo, you can change the skills in Class Dojo on Mondays to say glorious kindness. And so on Mondays, you let your students know, today we are focusing on glorious kindness, and that's really what I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to be looking for improvement in manners. That's it. In so many other character education programs, the ideas are so abstract. You know, we hear words like responsibility and respect and kindness and things like that that are very abstract for students, no matter the grade level. They're very abstract for adults as well. So the brilliance in the Whole Brain Teaching character education program is that we found coach, I'm not going to say we, I'm not even going to take credit for that coach. I'm going to say coach has figured out this brilliant way to really make kindness and the other character education virtues concrete. So when it's Monday, what we're really focusing on is improving kindness. And how do we improve kindness? We improve their use of manners. And so on Mondays, you change that skill in Class Dojo to glorious kindness, or you announce and have it written up on your board that glorious kindness is today, it's Monday, and all day long you are referencing kindness. You are working on improving kindness. And so that's what you're awarding stars for. Now you can award stars for other things too, of course. You can always award for anything, but this is our specific focus on Mondays, is glorious kindness. And we simply focus on the please okay, the thank you, you're welcome, and the praise pointer. Now on Tuesdays, give me a heart, give me a like if you love that very simple, very concrete way to improve kindness in the classroom just by using manners. And that's on Monday. And what a game changer if you can get all of your classrooms in the entire building to focus on that as well. That would be truly amazing, truly amazing. So Tuesdays, oh, before I say Tuesdays, let me also say we have a ton of wonderful exec board members and staff members. So if you have a question, please feel free to put it in the comments. And if I don't get to it, because sometimes they come too fast for me, and I'm still working on my multitasking here with the comments, but if I don't get to it, our executive board members will as well. And if you're watching the replay, absolutely, we will come back and we'll try to answer your questions as best we can. Don't forget to click those 3 little dots and hit subscribe so you can get notified every time we go live also. So we've talked about Monday and glorious kindness, the please okay, the thank you, you're welcome, the praise pointer. Those are the things we're really focusing on with glorious kindness. The praise pointer is whenever you want your students to say thank you, you give them the praise pointer. So if we are giving them praise, like Susie did an amazing job putting her name on her paper, great job Susie, and then you want her to say thank you, so then you can say you're welcome. So the praise pointer is our way of letting students know that we are giving them praise, and the appropriate response is to say thank you. Too many times when we praise our students, they just look at you with a blank stare. And so this is teaching our students that when you receive praise, when you receive compliments, that you say thank you, that it's a manners, that's part of having good manners, that's part of being a good person, is being able to accept praise. And that is something that's really hard for kids and for adults too, being able to accept praise. And so sometimes they're awkward. Adults can be that way too, and they're just not sure what to say or what to do. And so it gives them a really easy thing to do. When you receive praise with the praise pointer, I always do the 2-finger praise pointer, but you can do whatever you'd like. Their response would be thank you, and then you respond with you're welcome as well. So that's Glorious Kindness Mondays. Tuesdays is for leadership. And when we talk about leadership, we have 1 finger up in the air because our leadership is important. And leadership is part of so many different character education programs. But again, it's so abstract. It's this idea of being a leader. Well, how are you a leader? Or how can you be a leader? I teach 8th grade, and a lot of my students think leadership means being bossy. And so when they're doing group work, they just want to be in charge and be the ones that do everything. And then they get mad at their group because their group's not doing anything. And they're not doing anything because you won't let them because you think you're in charge. So we have a really strange idea of what leadership is. And I believe that it's because students don't recognize it and aren't taught how to recognize it in an explicit way. And so again, another wonderful idea that coaches come up with Whole Brain Teaching is to have Leadership Tuesdays. So leadership is one of our 5 virtues. And how can we teach students to be leaders? The most concrete way that you can teach leadership is in students becoming teachers. So when you clap twice and say teach, and your students clap twice and say okay, they do a full turn to their partner, and that's part of Whole Brain Teaching Basics. Again, at the website, click on WBT Basics, and you'll read and find out a lot more about the teach okay. But you turn to your partner and you teach your partner, and you use big gestures, and you teach your partner. And being able to teach somebody else is a very concrete example of leadership. So whether you're teaching your partner, whether you're teaching a small group, using big gestures and teaching somebody else, that is leadership. So on Tuesdays, we're really looking for leadership improvements. And so again, you go to Class Dojo on Tuesdays, you change that skill to say leadership, and on Tuesdays, you are focused all day long from the beginning of the day to the end of the day on leadership. And Coach says it's collaborating your learning. Teach your neighbor like a great instructional leader, and that's what we want. We want our students to be instructional leaders. Now, if you don't use Class Dojo, that's okay. It's still the same system that we've used for years and years, which is your wall display, but you still on Tuesdays want to have that be your focus, have leadership be your focus. And so all day long, we're talking about, we're referencing, we're including, and even in our lesson plans, we can find ways to make sure that students have lots of practice in leadership. And again, back to those other character education programs, they're a poster on a wall that we talk about for 20 minutes, or we talk about once at the beginning of the year and then never talk about again. But we're weaving this into all areas of instruction. So everything we do throughout the day is focused back on that skill, back on that virtue, which is leadership on Tuesdays. So Monday we have glorious kindness. Tuesdays we have leadership. Wednesdays we're going to talk about courage. And so courage, we use our big old muscles, and same thing, that's your skill for the whole day. And to make it concrete for students on Wednesdays, it takes courage to be an entire classroom leader. So on Wednesdays, we're really going to try and get students to stand up and teach the whole entire class. Ways that I've found to make that easier to do is to start with small groups. So you do a lot of teach okay, where I'm only teaching my partner, and then maybe I have a smaller group where I'm teaching just a smaller group, and there's still several smaller groups going on, and I work my way up to being able to teach the whole class. Some of our students have that natural courage and that natural leadership right off the bat, and they're ready to jump up and teach the whole class from day one. But some of our students need extra practice. So they practice that courage standing up and teaching their partner. They practice that courage standing up and speaking to a small group. They practice that courage standing up and speaking in front of their whole class. And so our job as teachers is to see what level they're at and what they're comfortable with, and keep pushing them out of their comfort zones, keep pushing them to improve. So Wednesdays, we focus on courage. Thursdays, we're going to talk about Invincible Grit, and this is my absolute favorite virtue, Invincible Grit, and we pound on our chest when we say it. So we have a motto that we use in Whole Brain Teaching. It's, we've got grit, we don't quit. So anytime students are working hard at something, anytime they try something and don't get it, anytime we need to remind them that we've got grit, we don't quit, we don't just say it. Everybody in the class says it. We chant that all the time. We've got grit, we don't quit. After students are in the middle of teaching and they make a mistake and you can tell that their confidence is faltering a little bit, it's so wonderful for the whole class to chant at them, we got grit, we don't quit. And there's several other examples of classroom chants that we use to help this idea of invincible grit throughout the day. And it's all day long. You're working really hard to keep students motivated to move forward and to try. And in teacher lingo, you know, we've got so many acronyms and different things that we, as teachers, whenever I get around a bunch of people who are not teachers, I say all of the lingo and they look at me like I'm speaking a foreign language. And sometimes it is kind of a foreign language, isn't it? But growth mindset is kind of the big buzz phrase right now. And invincible grit is growth mindset. But again, it's so abstract. How do you teach kids growth mindset? And the way that we implement it all day long, every day, but specifically on our Thursday is with our chant, we've got grit, we don't quit. And Heidi Martin from Drop in Knowledge says, yes, we've got grit, we don't quit. It's made such a difference in her classroom. Yeah, absolutely. It's a different mindset. It's a different thing to focus on. Now it's not, oh, I didn't get an A, or oh, I don't know all my math facts, or oh, my handwriting isn't neat, or oh, you know, I'm not doing this the way everybody else is. Now we're meeting kids at their level. We're acknowledging their improvements along the way, and we've got grit. We don't quit. That's what we want. That's what character education is all about with whole brain teaching. So we're now to Fridays. Fridays is another one of my favorite virtues, and this is our creativity. So we can draw with our paintbrush for creativity on Fridays. And our concrete focus for creativity is in the gestures that students are using. So we want to try and get kids to use their own gestures. We want to try to get them to use new and unique gestures. And when they're teaching their neighbor, they're coming up with new and creative ways. And we can also use props. So I had a pencil. Here's my pencil. Oh, I can't reach it. So a pencil can be a spectacular prop. It can be anything. It can be a boat that's, taking Columbus to the Americas. It can be a flag that's waving. It can be a dissection tool in science. It could be the sun shining in the sky. It can be anything you want it to be. So one of the easiest ways to bring in that's okay, Heidi. One of the easiest ways we can bring in creativity is simply by having students use props, and everybody should have a pencil. So using a prop to create anything with it is creativity, and we're getting students to do that with whatever content they're talking about as they teach their neighbor. So pencil props for creativity. So we have Monday is glorious kindness, Tuesday is leadership, Wednesday is courage, Thursday is invincible grit, and Friday is creativity. So in Class Dojo, we'd go in every day and you change your skill in Class Dojo to show that virtue of the day. Now in a classroom where you're using the wall display and not Class Dojo, you just have that written up on your board so that everybody knows, and you could still write it up on your board even with Class Dojo, that your focus for the day is whatever virtue that you're working on. And that's what you're focused all day long to give out improvement stars. So it's not just, ooh, that was really creative. It's, wow, that was so much more creative than 5 minutes ago or than yesterday. And you don't have to award stars every time they improve, because the goal, and here's the teacher's secret, it's not about the stars. It's not about the points. It's about motivating your students to want to improve and to continuously pull from them more and more and more. And so you can say things like, wow, that was so much better. Just a little more improvement. I'm really going to be watching you to get that super improver star. So it's not just about awarding stars. It's about motivating kids. Let me put my pencil down. Motivating kids to continue to show improvement, to be motivated themselves to improve. That's the beauty of the Super Improver team. And then when you weave in Class Dojo and you weave in those character education virtues, it's just pure magic in your classroom. It's all day long. So I think if you haven't hit subscribe yet, go ahead and click subscribe. I swear every time I say that, I say it weird. Click subscribe. Ooh, how do you change the skill in Class Dojo? Great question. So go to wholebrainteaching.com, click on freebies, and you'll see a big drop-down menu. The first item there says Whole Brain Teaching in Class Dojo, and all of that is explained right there on that page. There's even links to Class Dojo's help pages, and they have specific explanations. It's a really easy thing to do. It takes, maybe 5 clicks. Click, 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 click. Type in the skill, poof, you're done. It's probably not even that many clicks. It's probably like 3. It's pretty easy. Once you know how to do it, you'll be golden. So flood me with some questions if you have any questions, because I've got a few more minutes. Don't forget to click subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have clicked subscribe, and when you go to Facebook Watch, you should see all of Whole Brain Teaching's videos listed right there. So don't forget to go back through time. Scroll down, you'll see some awesome 10-finger woo videos from some of our wonderful whole brain teachers. You'll see the last videos that I did on, you're welcome, on character education in Class Dojo. And you'll see all of Coach's videos that he's done throughout history too on Facebook. So Facebook Watch is a great place to go if you've never been there before. So if you have questions, leave them as a comment. We will try to answer them as best we can. And to sign off today, I would love to see where y'all are from. So please put your state, your grade level, where you're from, and we'll just flood the screen with all the whole brain teachers across, it looks like the world, because I think we've got some other countries watching the live video today. If you're watching the playback and you made it all to this place, awesome. Would you please go back into your classroom and award all of your students a Whole Brain Teaching Super Improver Star from me to them, as a thank you for their teachers working to improve too. Because teachers, we are constantly improving. So you have just earned, for being here, you have earned all of your students a Whole Brain Teaching Star from me. So my name is Sarah Meador. I am the Associate Director for Whole Brain Teachers of America. I am blessed to be part of this wonderful organization, and I am very grateful for you joining me today. I hope you got some good tips, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, everybody.